Sideline of goal! Lakewood are doing it! They're gonna take it! He's gonna bring down 30. Almost with a double deal. Dropping fast. Monopoint's there. He's still alive! Wait 2 seconds left. He's got 1 second. He's got a second. He's taking it up. They're overtime on 3. They're all dead!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's the Summit 2 by G2way.com. We're in the C Division, and we've made our way to the final game of the day, the 5th match. Our 4th match, of course, was a death loss for IAP, and so we were left with a bit of an intermission. We transferred ourselves. We got bumped out from our upstairs studio to allow the Summit 2 Europe to take place, and we are going to finish things out for the C Division over here on Beyond the Summit 2. I'm still going to be joined by Gods here. Gods, let's think, is this working? Can you hear me right now, buddy?
I can. It's kind of weird because I've been like sitting next to you casting, just look over at your pretty face, but now it's like, whoa, okay.
Now you're like 10 feet below me somewhere, right? I think I don't remember how the layout is in the house. God's is in the kitchen right now, so hopefully making breakfast for me to eat after this ends, but no.
I think we're out of bacon, man. I'm sorry.
We're going to make it work. A lot of people, of course, getting hyped up about Europe making their way into the playoff scene, and we're getting ready to round things out here on the seaside, if you will. And, we're down here, but for this particular matchup, it's going to be Zephyr Dota going against Insidious Idol. So Zephyr, a team that kind of has been making us, well, cringe a bit. The last couple of times we've seen them, it's a formula that seems to be off its mark. They brought in recently, of course, Slicks and now X-Freedom, but in their earlier matchup, it didn't look that good, Gods. It was a hard thing to look at.
I mean, we kind of talked about it. They've got some actual talent in their team. I would say Slicks and X-Freedom, definitely world-class players. Corey's amazing, and Houston and Blitz, they're solid in their own right. So by all means, this should be a good team, but for whatever reason, it's not really working. And as a result, they've been the kind of punching bag of the SCA division. Yeah,
it's unfortunate because it's the team that like the outspoken community are like friendship power. This is the team we want to rally behind, and they're just not right there. Something is just not congealing, if you will. And so they're looking to find that mesh, that period that they can work something out before things become a real disaster. But with their opening lineup, Faceless Void and Lich. Very interesting to get someone like a Lich early. Lich is kind of a niche pick, I see. Maybe you'll grab him going against someone like a Death Prophet, which they did in this case, adding a bit of extra armor to yourself, to your allies, to your towers. I'm sorry, I can hear like the sink running right now, and it's making me laugh.
Apologies.
No worries. It's all good. It's just anyone else in there like trying to eat. LD, please. Got TriCast happening
LD's
right
making
now.
his coffee. That's like his morning routine. So I should have maybe chose a better location than the kitchen.
Right in the open. It's all good. It's just a match. It's just Dota. No big deal. We'll get things rounded out here. But no. They grab the Lich. Its response most likely to Death Prophet, plus his Change Frost works nicely with Chronosphere. They can almost segue, if you will, into some sort of Morphling kind of lineup and have the Lich there for that. And now the follow-up from Insidious Idol. They get a hold of a Dazzle. More of a defensive support early on. I think this is for a pick to come.
Yeah, this is no real. One or two teams here or there have been picking Dazzle early on, but generally speaking, not something that you need to prioritize this highly because you can almost always snag it up in that 3rd, 4th, even 5th pick. So maybe just wanting to hide some of their other picks, like you say, it's kind of building towards maybe some kind of big minus armor strat. The minus armor does amplify a lot of the exorcism damage and probably sees some kind of minus armor strategy with a lot of physical damage coming into play, maybe for Insidious Idol here.
Yeah, we'll see what the case is. I'm just trying to rattle my brain from who benefits the most in the game as it is from someone like a Dazzle. I mean, Huskar maybe if it's a pub kind of play. Lycan's been grabbed occasionally. So I'm percolated a bit as far as what they're looking to do with this. I can't imagine this is all for someone like Death Prophet just to be sure she can have her full reign of terror with the exorcism at high and mighty levels here. So as the follow-up continues, interestingly enough, no Skywrath Mage has been touched, mind you. No ban, no pick. If Zephyr Dota pass on this, I'd be pretty intrigued. It's just interesting that he's not even he's ignored, flat out ignored.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Like, I mean, hands down, like, you ask most teams and they would have said, look, if you're going to go for the Void, you go Void Skywrath as your only two picks. Because great against Death Prophet. You want to burst down Death Prophet fast and Exorcism, and that's exactly what Skywrath gives you. So, I like you mentioned the Dazzle maybe preparing for something. It feels like Lich may be kind of in the same boat. Like, maybe Zephyr have some kind of strategy they want to build around this Lich.
I don't know a lot that works with Lich. It's just I remember Bulba talking a lot during Starlight about how they like the Lich and then doing the Morphling, like I already said. Unless they're rolling with that kind of Kool-Aid, I'm not too sure. Or maybe they're just doing a nice purpley-blue kind of lineup. Oh, the purpley-blue theory seems to work here, God, as they grab a hold of Vengeful Spirit now as their secondary support. No Skywrath, mind you, still. Insidious could still grab a secondary support, of course, but it's just something that I can't believe it. The 90-some-odd% ban pick rate he's currently on, just to see something like that. It's like seeing a Dota eclipse, God. It's like an eclipse.
It's very rare, and Zephyr, in kind of Zephyr fashion, they love to pick good, strong laning heroes, which is what, I mean, Lich especially gives them Vengeful Spirit. Probably going to be seeing some kind of dual lane setup coming out. Lich not really a good safe lane support, and Insidious pick up an Earthshaker, so we're still not quite seeing what they have in mind with the Dazzle pick just yet. But I think that's going to come more from like their core heroes. They'll get some kind of tanky carry that can benefit a lot from the heals and the Grave maybe.
Yeah, Earthshaker now, yeah. It's long range initiation, just kind of the best of everything, and eventually can build up. Someone who's typically grabbed kind of as the same slot, I guess you could say, is a Sand King, someone who can use a Sandsword or reliably build up a Blink Dagger easier than your Earthshaker, but can work very nicely to close the gap and has big team fight contribution. But just could be a casual support grab. Maybe they're just feeling the Earthshaker, filling the spot. I'm not saying anything that's crazy synergy, just kind of someone who could do its job and do it damn well. So a grab there, and now the Wind Ranger. This is
like a slick special, I feel. He played an amazing Wind Ranger I was telling you about at the MSI Beat at LAN. And I feel this might be his hero for the mid lane. Okay. It's definitely a mid Wind Ranger, I think, at this point. But
Wind Ranger has anything else besides mid and maybe even off lane. Outside of that, it becomes interesting. Just she doesn't have a reliable enough of a stun to kind of roll as a support only. And when you can start brilliing in serious DPS on this girl, she can dish it. She can dish it real well with that ultimate. So I'm liking the grab, and I didn't firsthand get to see Slicks play it, so I'm hoping that's the case. I want to see a fancy-ass Gingerhead. I'm excited.
Blitz also loves playing as Wind Ranger. He was always been big on the mid Wind Ranger back even when he was playing mid for this team, but it seems he's more on the support role at the moment. So I don't think Insidious will be too worried about, I don't think they're going to see the Wind Ranger pick and think, oh shit, now we've got to counter this or do something crazy, but they have got something crazy. It's going to be an Omni Knight pick, so it's just like constant heals coming out. That's what they were planning with this Dazzle pick earlier on, maybe. This Omni Dazzle.
This is so intriguing, because what is this Omni Knight's position? What is he doing? Is he going to be the off lane? Are we going to see like a Universe-esque kind of Omni Knight pulled out right here? Is this Earthshaker going to be a core Earthshaker somehow, some way? A lot of huge sustain, huge heal, huge durability. Wow, how are they going to pull this one all together? This is some sort of hero. They don't want to die at all, ever, anytime, anywhere.
They've got such a good lineup to like deal with Void too. Like Fissure, like before, like the early Chronospheres, Earthshaker's unlikely to be caught on them, and if he's just sitting back, pops a Fissure, stuns the Void, likely can block him off from the target. Dazzle can Grave from outside the Chronosphere. Omni Knight later on. This is a farming Omni Knight potentially, and then you look at the Ag Scepter countering the Void. So if you're Zephyr, you're thinking, okay, our Void's been countered. Let's pick up like another carry that doesn't get as badly countered by this Insidious draft. Run the Void like in the off lane and pick up some kind of safe lane hero that can actually deal with an Omni Knight Dazzle. I think they need like some actual burst damage here.
Yeah, some way that if they get a hold of him or get an initial stun or chrono off, they can do as much as possible to take him down, because it's a lingering Omni Knight. If you just let him that little bit of life and he gets the R button off, it just changes the whole thing. So it's just so interesting. It seems like in Insidious they built together a draft that they were planning on doing. I mean, even the bands just synergize perfectly with it. They got to make sure they get rid of AA, which already works plenty with the Zephyr lineup as it is, but being able to take away all that heal potential would have been huge against the idle lineup, but they're not going to have that. So it looks like they're going to be looking to round things out here. If it's a mid lane Wind Ranger, potential off lane Faceless Void, they need the late game. A ban comes out from Insidious saying they're going to think it's going to be a Weaver. It's got to be someone who can contribute from the outside, a ranged sort of get up here. Anything that's kind of jaunt your brain as far as core. They're the last second on this one.
Yeah, you see Omni Knight, you think
seconds
someone with a
remaining.
diffusal, like a Mirana type pick, but Mirana's not the best of the best carries. Oh,
He holds a diffusal,
it
I
looks like an almost
guess.
random, but yeah. I think this is a good character choice. I like this pick, actually. I mean, it's not super burst damagey, but Terrorblade, if you get Metamorph up, Manta Illusions, and focus down the one target, they will die really quickly. That's something you maybe don't have time to respond to.
And typically you want to be going like aggro try against the Terrorblade to make sure he has a miserable early game experience because you're taking advantage of his pitiful and pathetic life pool as it starts out. So the lineup that Insidious will have, though, that's not really an aggro try kind of a lineup. Maybe with this last pick they can try to mesh something, but it's going to be a Lycan. So I called it earlier. It's just one of those formidable things that you kind of do with a Dazzle. It just seems like Insidious Idol had this draft in mind from the start with a grab like that.
Yeah, I feel so much of this draft has been premeditated. They've got great pushing power with the Lycan Death Prophet, great just durability from the Omni and the Dazzle. And Earthshaker's kind of just that nice sit back and bails you out. He's their only actual lockdown in this game. So he actually is like, he's kind of just pulls this draft together. Like the main strategy revolves around the other 4 heroes, but without the Earthshaker, it does have some strong weaknesses and some big gaps that the Earthshaker fills.
So we're looking to hop into this one and get things underway. Zephyr, I'm sure, looking desperately for the chance to pull up a W here. Their first, or from what I'm gathering here, their last official win. They're currently on a 13-loss streak. Gods, just to kind of put that out there. Yeah, as they're looking to change it up. I mean, they were granted the win because of the Arrow Gaming dropout, but
yeah,
a real legit win, something that can kind of raise their team's morale and get things underway, as it's been a struggling road for them. While Insidious Isle, they're kind of mid of the road as well. Love to be able to get a little bit more loving going their way. Maybe get to a little bit closer towards that tiebreaker situation. We'll see how it goes here, Gods, as we have launched into the game here, the last one of this fine early morning here. Insidious Isle taking on Zephyr. I'll lead off your introductions here with Insidious Isle. So, Lord have mercy, a team I don't get to cast very much. Yes, Sarah? Gods, I hope I'm doing this right.
Yep,
Sarah, he's going to be playing your Omni Knight here in your off lane. In the mid lane, it's going to be Chibi, or Chibix. He's going to be playing your Death Prophet. Catching up with him right now, it's going to be Revenge playing your Earthshaker. Looks like a stand-in. That's going to leave Shagasaurus.
These are some good names.
Playing Dazzle. Man, I should have just done Zephyr. And that leaves over here, Chew, going to be playing your Lycanthrope on Insidious Idol.
Sticking to the bottom lane on the dire side, we've got Team Zephyr in Korea. We've got X-Freedom. Actually on an off-lane Wind Ranger. This is not where I like to see my Wind Rangers go, but we'll see how it works out for X-Freedom. We're going to have Corey playing the mid lane Faceless Void. Blitz on the Lich, going to be dual laning it up in the mid lane. Aosin going to be on a Vengeful Spirit, supporting the Terrorblade at top, played by Slicks. So not the lanes I would have expected from Zephyr.
Yeah, interesting lane setup right now. This Terrorblade is going to have one babysitter nearby, but is that one enough? We'll have to see, as it's going to be in contention to Omni Knight, so I guess that's good for Terrorblade. Omni Knight, I don't know exactly what he'll be able to do to really kind of harass and push on forward, but if he does manage to find farm, he can dish a bit of heavy damage. I mean, even the pure damage burst of his heal could do a lot to a flimsy Terrorblade. 454 life is what he starts with, so he's going to plan to get some power treads underway sooner than later.
And he's guaranteed some XP and farm. Like the Earthshaker already threw a Fissure Top just to mess up the equilibrium of the creep wave, and Ysira's basically at his tower farming. So this is going to be just a pretty fine lane for him as far as getting XP. Wind Ranger at the bottom lane, I'd say similar story. Invis Room will make sure that Wind Ranger gets XP as well.
Yep, got to leech up what you can when you can, because for now, you know, Dazzle Caesar is like, I got to zone her back. Eat a few of these. Make sure she doesn't get close enough for any sort of XP, but it's just a Dazzle zoning back, so Wind Ranger would be happy to trade. And yeah, your mid lane Faceless Void going against the Death Prophet here. Now, Death Prophet was tweaked down recently. Her Crypt Swarm at level 1 not going to do as much heavy burst, so there's a window for Corey to try to get as much CS as possible. But from that point thereafter, things can get a little bit sticky for your Void in this mid lane. You're going up against the Silence, but hey, if you got good RNG, you can turn things around. But what certainly helps out is Blitz being right here on this Lich. Guaranteed denies, guaranteed pullbacks. He's probably moving in the jungle and stacking, I hope. Or at least thinking about it.
And Death Prophet has to bring more Tangos. Like, Death Prophet should be buying Tangos and sending them now. When you go for this, like, Bottle Rush build with the 2 pulled Tangos, if you get harassed, you have to buy more regen, because he's going to get completely zoned out of this lane before he even gets his bottle at this rate. So Blitz
pushing
Blitz
forward
is just
here.
like taking the creep wave.
Yeah, he's all that for the nuke. He did almost as much damage to her as he did to himself just going for it. So the dedication's real, I guess, from Blitz to just add that extra bit of harassment before those tangos do come. Eats another nuke, jump forward. Corey, they're looking for the first blood. They get it. And it goes into Corey's pocket. And Death Prophet just playing the dance of death with no regen available. Why is she so deep?
Yeah, I think maybe thought Lich didn't have mana for another Frost Blast, but that was more than enough on Blitz, and that was just super greedy. One he wasn't buying extra tangos. He was trying to get like 2 more CS, and he would have had his bottle, but it was just way too high risk, and he got punished badly for it. And then he has to buy a TP scroll, go back mid, and he's really, not really far behind. He's still doing okay. He's gonna have his bottle.
They're gonna get one on bottom in exchange, though. They track down and chase the Wind Ranger and just maul her apart, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 now. As Insidious will be able to strike and quickly take down the offlaner there. So Wind Ranger, not someone you see as a usual flavor in your off lane. Yeah, she has the slick escape of her Wind Run, but outside of that, she's not going to be looking for a whole lot. If she's pressured too hard, as we're seeing now, they're just going to go right for the tower. She can't really do a whole lot outside of a power shot. So apparently the Skype is not really working that well.
She can throw the power shot from a fire trap.
Or not. I'm not too sure. Sorry, gods. I think our Skype is going a bit finicky. You're coming in and out a bit. It could be on my end. It could be just how Skype is at times, unfortunately. But for now, both very low life. Yeah, there it goes for sure. And, you know, that will leave a little bit of farm space right now for top lane here as Slick's looking to bring together. It looks like the early makings of his ring. Oh, heal here. Big damage on Eos. He just pulls out the repel. He's going to right-click him one more time. That's an easy grab right there for your off-lane Omni Knight. Maybe underestimating the damage that he could bring out with his right-click as he just walks forward, slams down a heal, and very, very hard hitting there on Eosin. So, in the meantime, let's be scouting out in mid lane as I go for an attempted recall here at the same exact time.
Double damage.
Hello, gods. God Services co-casting?
Yep.
Hi, welcome back, my friend. Yes, sorry. Skype can do that at times. Hopefully,
Top lane?
Oh, I missed the back end of it. Dag nabbit.
I got the back end. I didn't even know how that started. But, we'll take Minimo. And yeah, that's a good kill. Terrorblade getting a kill on the Omni. Omni already has a soul ring, though, so he's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, he got that nice kill just a bit ago there on the Vengeful Spirit, and it looks like they get a bit of revenge right there as the Metamorphosis. The damage is ridiculous. Even with nothing, he can make something out of it with that ability. The true ultimate, they like to call it. Big cooldown now, though, is he'll do what he can with it, but in between those periods, that's your opportunity to try to make something happen on that Terrorblade. So we'll see how long it takes before Zephyr look to maybe venture out elsewhere. Got Corey, who's probably going to plant himself to level 6, but maybe it's going to be Insidious Idol who look to make some early movement. I mean, it's hard, though, with a team that has like someone like a Dazzle and Earthshaker who's not really going too far towards the top lane as it is. I don't know if they're going to have the ability to punish a Terrorblade too early.
Yeah, I don't feel like either team has much roaming potential. Like Vengeful Spirit, the one kind of roaming support in the game, but Eosin just wants to kind of babysit top lane. So yeah. I think the ganks are going to come more when Void hits level 6, and we'll see maybe Void either going down bottom to partner up with a Wind Ranger with Power Shot, or Wind Ranger coming mid for a Chronosphere kill. I think Chronosphere is going to be the one big spell that Zephyr try and fight and play around for the most part this game.
Stun flies out here on Omni Knight, who does not have his heal. 5 more seconds, but Revenge steps in, throws out a nice Fisher to combo break their aggression attempt. Omni's not going to have to use anything and will still be able to plant himself. So your Earthshaker's kind of acting as a backup babysitter for your off-lane Omni Knight, where on the opposite side, Wind Ranger currently getting nipped at the heels from these wolves. These pesky wolves forcing her to pull out the Wind Ranger. Now she does get a regen. Very convenient. She's at 15-2, so actually getting a fair amount out of this off-lane in as the Wind Ranger, while Omni's at 18-0.
And just keeping that tower alive before when they went for that push really helps out as well. Just will slow down the Lycan so he doesn't completely snowball, get like that Vlad's at 7 minutes into the game with his treads. So just the small things right now. And this is a game, like for the first time today, we're not seeing offlaners get shut down. Like the Omni Knight at top, the Wind Ranger at bottom, both these offlaners getting a lot of farm for offlane heroes.
Yeah, and to each their own. It's kind of almost a share of respect for them. I mean, they did make the go and take down Omni, but outside of that, they're just looking to get their own thing going right now as Eosin makes the pull to get those creeps back under the tower here for Terrorblade to work with. Almost too many creeps, though, as he's trying to juggle them around and try to get last hits. He is missing them. This is just becoming a little bit difficult to try to handle all the CS at the same time on one platter. And on the opposite side, Insidious Isle just kind of waiting it back and taking it easy. I wonder if, is he just going to go straight Arcanes here with the Omni Knight? Finish out this 1k gold?
Yeah, I think it's probably your best. He has not too many mana problems because of the Soul Ring, so maybe because of that he doesn't, but it helps out your team so much. I think it's still worth getting. And yeah, he's sitting in that secret shop now.
They're going pretty hard here on the bottom lane. They want this tier 1. Glyph is already used, so it's going to be the Lycan who just snags it on up. So his objective is complete here on the bottom lane. Got power treads. I imagine eventually he'll look to build towards the Vlad's kind of a build. And then, of course, the tricky thing is it's a Radiant side Lycan. I know the advantage isn't as crazy as it used to be. While top lane, they get the Sunder off. Omni's brought down to half, and Terrorblade just kind of walks away with it as it is. But the advantage isn't as significant, but it's still a little bit of an advantage for Dire's side. So Lycan's going to have to work through that top lane. It is Earthshaker gets caught out and really has nowhere to run between the VS and the Terrorblade, as you see. Can't get away. Just on the bad side of things, goes down. 2 to 3 your score, advantage for Zephyr. And my Skype.
Radiant's middle tower
Skype ripped a Rooney. Out for the count right now. I'll have to look to get Gods back on the phone once more from his live in kitchen studio. But until then, leading out your CS, that Lycan coming off the back end of that tower takedown puts him at 48 and 19. That's a lot of denies, man. He's been denying the heck out of this bottom lane, taking that away from your Wind Ranger, interestingly enough. But yes, I'm trying to get the call back online at the same time. Wind Ranger, hello, Gods. Hello, welcome back, my friend. Hi. You know, we'll just truck our way through. Hopefully get back online. Don't be sorry. You know, we're making it work for now. So just acknowledging Lycan as he gets a lot done. Takes down the tower. He's brought in the highest CS and the highest denies as well, taking that away from Wind Ranger, who is still looking around trying to find her farm, stacking some Ancients here and there. But it's going to take her a little bit longer. I mean, Boots and a Bassi. How long are you expecting before this Wind Ranger can actually really contribute a lot in some of these fights?
I feel like you need that 4-staff or like Blink Dagger. Probably more likely the 4-staff, especially as like a offlane Wind Ranger. But you are level 7, like so. Even just like a TP in with a Chronosphere, Power Shot does a lot of direct damage. So I think Wind Ranger could contribute, but as far as teamfights go, definitely you want that 4-staff up ASAP.
There's that Vlad's now.
Where's Wind Ranger's money? Okay, Wind Ranger has face boots. I was about to say there was like a lot of money missing from Freedom.
Okay. Yeah, I even noticed too before when I just had those boots, but now his fades, a little bit extra right click, a little bit extra pep in her step. Looks like she's trying to slow the roll here in mid lane as we got 4 from Insidious Idol looking to make some sort of siege attempt here. Omni is level 8, has the Guardian Angel at the ready for this one, but they have pulled a lot of attention away from this Terrorblade in the top lane, who's just kind of still farming. I mean, the longer you want to kind of move elsewhere and go for farm, that's fine by me. He went power treads, and now looking to get that good old reliable Yasha. And even just that Yasha alone on top of Metamorphosis adds so much as it is that he can be a true nuisance and take down a tower in just one swoop.
Be well.
Oh yeah, you just kind of leave him alone. Bottom lane, they're actually going to go on Chew here. They've got a Chronosphere for this, and I think they might throw it. Yeah, they're going. This is
drop it,
likely going to be a kill. No mana for all.
No problem. Nice lockdown,
Nice
Corey.
kill.
Corey gets a good grab right there with his big chrono, and certainly helps out here in the bottom lane. Mid had a lot done there as well, but as a mid lane void, I mean,
Dire's top tower is
trying to think about where he's going to really take it from here. Do you just kind of do your standard kind of a run, grabbing a hold of the Mask of Madness and being able to just do as much right click as possible? Do you build it differently because you have a Terrorblade already on your team who's going to be the real focal point and get something like an Ags?
I think Mask of Madness is still just pretty standard for the actual killing potential it gives you. There is going to be like a time where you may want to have a Diffusal Blade to deal with the Repel and the Guardian Angel, but we'll have to see if he maybe gets the Diffusal a bit later on. But I think just straight into the Mask of Madness is generally your best bet as Void.
Yeah, Diffusal helps certainly against Omni Knight here. His attention goes towards mid lane. Zephyr pushing it on in. Your Glyph going to be already called out here, but a couple of TPs as well as Lycan being here, going with a couple extra stacks on the side. Yeah, he'll actually just farm him up, but he's going to be nearby in case something does break out. Death Prophet, Exorcism already been used. Actually pretty fresh on the cooldown, so a lot of time without it right now. And Corey has about 50 seconds for his Chronosphere. So a lot of people congregated to mid lane, but no one really has a lot that's ready to work with. You know, this feels a bit awkward here right now.
I feel like we haven't seen... Yeah, we haven't seen the potential of Insidious's draft quite yet.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're a draft that doesn't really reach its, like, ready. They're not really ready to execute until about 15 minutes in, when they have, like, the mech. They just have, like, their ultis ready to go, even just, like, a Necro 1, Necro 2 on the Lycan to start the push, so...
Cheeky
Great
play
music
there from X-Freedom. Yeah, I was following him. He had the Invis rune. Scouts everything out. Sees a Lycan taking care of the neutral camp, but gets a quick glimpse of a nice little courier. Pops out of it, gets a quick shot in, and courier's down. So not carrying any cargo whatsoever, but X-Freedom's happy to break the Invis just to take care of it.
Tower is under attack.
Yep. So Terrorblade has been left alone top, and this every time they leave Terrorblade alone for a couple of minutes, suddenly they have to they quickly
look at
realize,
the
oh wait,
frickin'
we have to deal
damage.
with this because he's pushing.
181 plus 9, my God.
Now,
Radiant's
Omni
top
shows up
tower
like,
has
wow, wow,
fallen.
wow, it's
He
too
missed
late.
the last hit. I don't know how he missed the last hit to like
Dire's
one
middle
range
tower
creep
is
attack,
under
but that was some mostly bad luck. Obviously, he could have timed it a bit better, but he probably didn't expect like a single range creep to outlast hit him.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. Almost RNG factor right there. Is he'll make the best out of what metamorphosis he has left right now in this top lane pressure, but you know, hopefully for Insidious Idol, that's not the early glimpse of what's to come. If they build a big team fight already around Corey's Chronosphere and everyone else getting in on the fray, they're going to forget about what's going to be happening in that other lane, and Slick's could be in his own world, just
Dire's
taking your
bottom
base
tower
from behind
is
you.
under
And
attack.
we'll have to see how spread thin Insidious Idol can be, but they have a little bit of that as well. Lycan's doing his own thing here on the opposite side of the world, bottom lane, where he had done pretty good damage. He took down the tier 1 tower and is starting to creep now on this tier 2. It's a bit of a rat for a rat. I don't know. Do you think we could get to a point where we could see some crazy backdoor action in this kind of game? Oh, they're making a catch-off in the meanwhile.
I think with
Chew.
Terrorblade for sure.
Chew's in trouble, gets caught out. Chronosphere. Lockdown. Oh, swap back even. Oh, okay. Yeah, secures it that. With the,
That was mid-heal.
right
That
click.
swap actually stopped the heal.
Pulls him away
It was
from
a
Omni.
really
Very
nice swap. It prevented the heal. But the mech's now up on Omni Knight, so well they kind of need Lycan a lot of big problems with the mech. They can
Radiant's
start just
bottom
pushing and
tower
sieging
is under
towers, which it looks
attack.
like they want to do a bit here in the mid
Dire's
lane with the
middle
Exorcism
tower
being
is under
cast.
attack.
Yeah, Omni beelines it towards the mid lane, even past Corey, who had leapt down and got a hold of a DD, but we'll see if Zephyr indeed want to go for defense.
middle
Metamorphosis
tower is
was
under attack.
previously used, and we already saw the Chronosphere, so Ultimate's not up at the ready.
Radiant's bottom tower
I think they're
has
just going to go for a
fallen.
trade as you hear the
Dire's
bottom tower is
structures
taken
are
down already.
fortified.
Zephyr grab a hold of that one.
Dire's
Mid lane, they
middle
actually
tower
pull out the
is
glyph
under
here.
attack.
Gonna really make them sweat for this one right now before they can finally get the luxury of taking it down. They will take it here, and it ends up just being a trade.
Dire's middle tower has
Yeah,
fallen.
it still feels like Zephyr just like they get the tower faster. They're
Dire's
already
middle
back to
tower
farming. They're
is
just being a
under
lot more
attack.
efficient. Like their farming patterns are just. I mean, they're getting from camp to camp a lot faster. Whereas Insidious Idol is spending a lot of time grouped up and have a lot of heroes who just aren't finding any room to get their farm outside of like the Death Prophet and the Lycan. I guess Omni has got his mech, so he's doing. Omni's doing really well, and he is continuing to farm. At least it's a somewhat alright rate.
Yeah. I'm eager to see him really put that Guardian Angel to use and all that huge sustain and heal power. I haven't really
Do you
seen
think he
it all
goes
work
Axe here
together.
to deal with the Void?
Oh, Axe is so good. Every time I see an Omni play, they got to get it at some point. It's kind of like Ogre going for an Axe. It just adds a whole lot globally as well. I mean,
Radiant's
buy
middle
back Guardian
tower is
Angels,
under
you know,
attack.
that can also certainly help. So a lot of opportunities there, and I think it's well worth it. So, but just previously to that, Lycan, man, just such a good tool to have. Even just putting the wolves out as ob scouts right there. They see that Corey's farming up in their own jungle. They move forward. They see Corey pull back. That gives them the idea there's a ward. There is a ward. It was right there. So they see that. They go down. They get a sentry. They take care of it. They plant their own. Just all that happens just as if it's just natural. All natural. So it's a beautiful thing to see. So good obs play, good game sense. Insidious Idol will take back control of the view spot there on the bottom of the river, and it looks like it's going to be back to the waiting game here as the Ultimates come back fresh and online before we see possibly another engagement.
Yeah, that vision around Roshan is pretty important because Zephyr can get in there really fast. Terrorblade with Metamorph, Vengeful Spirit minus Armor. There's a lot of fast and easy Roshan killing potential. Middle lane, though, Bit of an engagement to Blitz here, but it looks like he's speedy enough to zip his way out of there.
He's got his level 6. He's actually level 8, but Chain Frost at the ready. Exorcism is going to be pulled out. They have the repel already on Chibi right now. Just dancing her in the front.
Just level 1 ulti, which is...
Yeah, so it's a very slow siege. It's molasses slow right now. Just they're massaging the tower, not really doing a lot of damage.
It felt like they should have waited, but I think they're gonna get it anyway. They've got Howl, they've got Necrobooks, so they will get it. It's just like you say,
It's just
very
puny.
slow.
Yeah, it's just hold on. We got to take it at the right time. Now Glyph is going to be pulled. It looks like Zephyr have the body language that they're pressing forward here, but then they keep doubling back shortly after. Back and forth they go. It's like the dance of defense. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they want to pull the trigger on the right opportunity. Now they do. They jump forward. They see that there's a lingering dazzle. The fissure comes out, but it doesn't stop Corey from getting in there. Nice grave and the heal. Corey now gets silenced, and he may have to accept the fact that he can't even just get a hold of that support. So the heal power being shown. Bottom lane, though, a nice deny from Lycan prevents Terrorblade from getting easy tier 2 there. So very nice. Terrorblade on the run now.
He's popping the ultimate.
Oh, he's going right for him.
For this.
Uh-oh, he knows that Metamorphosis is going to be coming down momentarily, which it is. He's just biting him on the ankles. Can't get away. There's no one to come. There's nowhere to TP to. He just gets run down from full to dead from the Lycan. Good call right there.
That was interesting. Yeah, that was most players would not know just to like ulti and chase down the Terrorblade there. So yeah, really smart play from the Lycan. And meanwhile, mid lane they're gonna finally get this tier 2 tower. They had to work hard for this one. But Exorcism is almost back up already, but it took them so long.
Ah, thank goodness. Finally got that tower. They worked so hard for it. Started many ages ago. Now, traveling in a group, sweeping right on through the Zephyr side, meeting up and getting together possibly with Lycan in this top lane, as there's only 2 more outer towers to stand here on the side of Zephyr. But they're also trying to find their way. They got Blitz, bottom lane, taking in solo farm and XP, trying to get a little bit more going for his Litz. If he has to be the mech holder, he needs to get something thrown together. Meanwhile, though, a jumping coming up from Corey. Quick reaction, Yules, and the silence follow-up. The silence actually doesn't end up connecting there on Corey, but it's enough to make him step back.
It feels like the pace of this game is just like Insidious is going to take every single tower on the map. They're going to go take Roshan, and then they're going to go high ground with like an Exorcism, Death Prophet plus Necro 3, and on top of that they have Guardian Angel, Repel, Heal. Like they're going to have so much sustainability that I don't know how Zephyr is going to deal with it. Like they've got to split push their hearts out right now, but they're not really finding the openings to apply enough pressure with their split push. It's only
they're trying to cut off Zephyr on the way back. And they get the caboose of the train, and that Slicks, unfortunately, on this Terrorblade. Does get the Sunder off there at the end. It gets full life, but he's still pretty squish, and that Exorcism is going to continue to just rip him apart, and he does go down. Corey, though, gets a nice pick-off right there. Takes out the Dazzle. The Omni goes down. He is running right through this Exorcism, trying to catch up, but he's getting right-clicked home from Lycan. He's forced to time walk out. Death Prophet cleans up the rest, taking down the Wind Ranger. Now Corey still able to get away. Thankfully, though. Meanwhile, over at Yules, pulled out right here. It's going to be Aosin, who's trapped behind neutral Ancients. And oh, the Ghost Scepter stops it for a brief moment. Haste is right in front of him, teasing him. Can't get it, though. Can't get away. Death Prophet gets the last laugh and walks away with that one.
That was it. It looked like it actually started off really well for Zephyr. Good Chronosphere from Corey. He killed the Dazzle on the Chronosphere. That's really the key target. Dazzle and Earthshaker in the Chronosphere, or even just like Dazzle Omni Knight. So you can kill the Dazzle and then just Omni Knight isn't going to actually save his life or something. Like no Guardian Angel is always going to be crucial there. So nicely played by the Void. And like they do lose the Terrorblade, but I think the other trades they got in that team fight at least was somewhat even.
Pings fly out here on Death Prophet, but she just moves so dang fast. The Yules and Phase Boots, by the time you kind of get the recognize of where she is, she's long gone, Blitz. She's not there anymore. He's scouting out the area as if she's still kind of hanging about, maybe farming, but before you know it, she's already mid lane. So now she's looking to meet up with the rest of her team, and they're saying, hey, it's time for us to do Roche. We can bring the fight to us. We feel comfortable about making it happen. We got our Echo Slam friend here ready to go. He can take his position on the post outside the pit if necessary. And everyone else just kind of let Lycan do the rest. So it should be an easy Roche grab.
They double sentry this just so they can Q-ward.
A lot of commitment here by the pit before they even start the dance. But they're not going to do it. Wind Ranger scouts it out with the power shot there. So
they knew Zephyr had vision of him, so they're like, it's kind of like I think they've got the strong enough lineup that they could go and.
Dazzle!
I am losing you a little bit. The Skype is going a bit wonky here at the moment. Hopefully things find their way, but they're slowly being able to siege, pushing forward towards this tier 2 with Death Prophet repelled up at the forefront. And now they pull back, but this is more time. Now Slicks pushing in, flirting with the idea of committing onto the bottom. And it's going to be, unfortunately, Chu that does TP back right now. So this does prevent Insidious Isle from doing too much action here, possibly in the bottom lane. We'll see if they end up committing for it. I will do the hang-up in the recall at the meanwhile here to get Gods back on the line once more. And the Exorcism now being able to flow right through this tower. Should be easy pickings right here for Insidious Isle. Still, though, at the bottom lane, or the other side of the world, Slicks pulls out the Metamorphosis. Can't really get to the high ground to do a lot of damage. He just kind of has his hands full with this Necro Book. Does take down the Lycanthrope, and now they're on the hunt on the back end out. They get a hold. It's Omni Knight who gets saved up from the shallow grave. Sorry, I'm getting like seriously distracted with this terrible Skype program right here. Earthshaker hiding himself out on the side, and ends up being 2 that fall down. The Death Prophet and Lycan go down. Lycan trying to defend his own. Terribly just kind of man ups on him and gets the job done with Metamorphosis alone. Very impressive. Dagnag Skype program. Oh well. We'll just continue to try to check it out, make sure we can get Gods back and alive, even though I know he's just the hop skip away downstairs. But Corey continues to farm it out here in the ancient camp, trying to bring together a little bit more right click from himself. He's going to go down the path of getting hold of a Maelstrom here. So no Diffusal Blade yet for him. Feel no BKB necessary, but he's going to have to work through a lot of big heal power if he wants to even crack the hard exterior of this Insidious Isle squad. Blitz hanging out nearby, trying to find something for himself. He puts down the Outward mid lane, giving his team a little bit of extra vision across the map, and well, Lycan doing his own split push thing on the side. So it's back to where it was here before Insidious Isle feel just comfortable enough about moving into the Rosh and getting the job done here. Zephyr, they're going to try to hold out as long as possible, get their Terrorblade to a point where there's really no looking back, and really hope for the best. And if Lycan needs to, he can always pull out a Plan B, or Plan R rather, for Plan Rat, and try to go for a bit of split push flavor himself.
No sorceries avail.
Oh, jump in from Corey. Thinking about making a go here, possibly on Omni, but he immediately goes the other direction. Nice way to walk out right there. Scott's probably walked away from his computer, thinking about maybe there's possibly something else we could do. Oh, he just answered at the last second as I hung up. Are you kidding me? Now he's calling me. Hello? Hello, yes?
Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome back. Sorry. I knew it.
Okay.
Skype is just finicky at times, but regardless, big plays came out right there. A lot of stuff got done. It looked like Terrorblade managed to take down Lycanthrope while doing a bit of his own split push here. And on the other side, Zephyr take down Zephyr, Zephyr take down Death Prophet rather. But she is already back at it again here on this bottom lane with the Exorcism. Yeah, by her lonesome. Corey detects this, jumps forward, pulls out the Chrono. There is going to be a very nice time Shallow Grave right on the back end. She pushes forward. Exorcism is going to be coming back in time. It will be. She's healed up just fine. Even Guardian Angel comes out at the side of a very scary-looking Terrorblade, and they pull right back for this one. Now, Slick's already committed to his Metamorphosis form. Is Zephyr going to look for a fight on the back end of this? It looks like not, as Insidious side will pull away.
Yes. Patch up.
Hello? Oh, my goodness. Oh. Fantastic.
And
oh, you're kind of there.
please try.
Oh boy. Oh well. Chibi takes herself back to mid lane. Now with Shivas in hands. Steps back. 6-10 your score. We haven't really looked a whole lot at the net worth chart this game. It's been pretty close. Pretty back and forth relatively, but still square even as far as the net worth. Experience more to the favor of Zephyr, actually, as it stands. That probably is more attributed to what Terrorblade has done in his own right, especially in this top lane.
I feel like Insidious are just entirely focused on breaking the base right now. Like everything about their gameplay, their draft has been about sieging, and they don't really care. Like for the 20 minutes in this game, there were like 7 total kills. Like most of the kills have come in the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Wow,
so,
Chu really just
it's only when they've been breaking high ground.
sneaks in behind Wind Ranger right there, and she immediately has to pull out the TP, and not with any sort of bash on sight. He can't really stop her from it. So actually would have been, if she got careless for a moment, another right click or two, she could have been dead. But it's Zephyr who on the quick up and up right here, trying to smoke up the top lane and catch out where that Lycan went, but he already left. Long gone to the opposite side of the world. Death Prophet almost scouts out, but it's going to be Terrorblade who does get away after adding more pressure elsewhere. Even got a Blink Dagger here. And there's your Diffusal. I guess I haven't clicked on him recently, Gots.
When I just came back, I saw the Blink, and I was like, that's a funky little item. It's helping him get these Sunders off a bit better. But it's not the most expensive item. I think it's okay to get here. It's a bit of a niche little item for sure, though.
Gold for
We'll see how much he can use for it, but yeah, nice grab right there. Roche, as Lycan returns himself to this bottom lane. Now with the benefit of that extra life, we'll see how long they want to sit on it before they put it to hard use, or he might have to use it right now as Zephyr coming in from above here.
Yep. Corey's trying to finish his BKB at top lane before this fight breaks out, but it's going to be close to see if he can actually do it. He's going to TP back already.
dark light.
They're swarming on through here. They're going to go right through the secret shop and immediately take out the creeps in this mid lane where Terrorblade is trying to push it down, but Death Prophet wants to cut it a bit. Now he's not going to have the benefit of those creeps to come right near. He might be able to get this tier 2 in the mid lane, which is already pre-glyphed. But his base could be under quick siege as they get the nice Yules off on Wind Ranger. They press forward. Shiva's already popped here. Death Prophet has the exorcism now out in full force. We'll start right-clicking this tier 3 tower. Terrorblade working in the top part of the Insidious Idol map.
Here's an Earthshaker.
Here we go.
Earthshaker's already TP'd back, looking for maybe a pick-off here with a TP, but he's just going to fissure and stall.
He's going to fissure, keep him back a bit. The Metamorphosis is going to be coming to a close here. Steps on forward. There's the blink. It's actually up on the way out right now. He's trying to stop. Echo will stop him. Slick's now in trouble trying to get away. Death Prophet's now here. They Yules him up. And there goes the Crypt Swarm. Not going to catch, but he's on the retreat down. He has nowhere to go. Whoa, the last second mana, though, he ends up falling. It's Slicks who goes down. Lycan gets taken down here now on the bottom half. Aegis is going to be pulled out here. Aosin on the back way out. Pull out the Ghost Scepter, but I guess a big core for a big core. And the Dazzle on top of
Defend the
that.
high ground? Yeah. Like, defending the high ground and breaking the Aegis is actually okay there for Zephyr, so not the end of the world. Slicks did something kind of cool. He actually used the Diffusal to get rid of the Death Prophet's silence, so he purged off just the silence to get the Sunder, and then he died anyways, but it was just a nice little play. But even so, I feel like Zephyr's still under a lot of pressure, because these pushes are just going to keep on coming their way. They've got to have Terrorblade at the top lane always counter-pushing, and it does put Terrorblade in these kind of positions where he's often going to die and get ganked, which is just kind of inevitable, it feels like.
And we'll see now with an Invis picked up here from the Earthshaker. Revenge looking to scout out and bring back a little bit of that sweet intel as far as what is happening here, because to be honest with you, it's hard to tell the momentum of this game. It just kind of shifts back and forth from fight to fight here. Now swinging back towards the Insidious Idol side. They're a team that's looking to try to take more and more objectives and now look to break the base. The pressure is on them. This Terrorblade starting to show his muscle power as he now has 1,300 gold built up. Where do we look to take it from here as your Terrorblade as far as item progression? Does he go something a little more survivable now? Like a...
Yeah, I think Skadi's pretty good, but a lot of stats you can get from Skadi. Butterfly's not bad as well as far as actual damage output goes. So probably one of those two, unless he feels he really needs a BKB. But I don't think BKB... I think if you could BKB, it's going to be like one of those game-losing BKBs where it's like you're just not doing enough in a fight, even during that match community.
I don't mind the butterfly idea. It's not like the MKB is soon on the agenda from Lycan as it is, and he's such a right-click dependent kind of hero at point, so we'll see what he decides to do. He could just go down the road of getting an Abyssal, and that could also put him further off. He has about 1,800 gold saved up for now, and they're looking to pressure in here from the bottom lane right now. as Insidious out with everything
This
up
time
and
there's
at
no
the ready.
split push too.
Yeah. Let's see.
Without
now.
the split push
No
threat,
sorcery is
I can
availed.
just at least force Zephyr to engage onto them.
Yep, they make the jump forward outside the base, though. It's Corey who catches a chrono on 2. Guardian Angel is just right there from Omni, making that chrono worth nothing. Now Exorcism as they press in through the Zephyr base and easily clean out Aosin. Now they look towards Corey, no more mana, and it's going to be a quick sweep through a set of racks on the way out. It's an Echo Slam that comes on through, and they quickly take apart Blitz on that Lich. Revenge, very low life, hides himself into the corner. Still into the base is Death Prophet, now turning her attention towards the mid lane. It's Terrorblade, though. Metamorphosis trying to get a hold, gets the Sunder off there on Lycan. Steps back, going for a right click on Dazzle. Force Staff there trying to kite about this Metamorphosis and run away from it, as Lycan will eventually get up with them. But though the big heal coming out from Omni Knight's what secures it. And Terrorblade now out for a minute. Does have buyback up and ready. Insidious Idol, they can keep pressuring here and at least get those buybacks out.
Yeah, as soon as they don't have the split push threat, it's so easy for them to just break on through. Guardian Angel completely negates the void, and then they've got all the damage they need to bring down racks with Necro Books as well as, more importantly, the Exorcism as well. So I think they'll wait for the Exorcism and then just rinse, repeat, do that exact same thing again. 4 minutes until Roshan's probably too long for them to wait for a Roshan, so I think going high ground with just what they've got now is perfectly fine.
We'll see if that's going to be the case here. And Zephyr looking quick to make a hot defense even outside the base if necessary. Ran into trouble on that one as Aosin, running into trouble himself, gets silenced up. Shiva's going to slow him down. Maybe they look to turn back, though, here on Death Prophet, who gets the Yules quickly there out on Wind Ranger. And she's zoning him back for now, as now it allows them to catch up. It's going to be Earthshaker who gets in. Nice Fitcher. Aosin forced to pull out the Ghost Scepter here, trying to get away, but Crypt Swarm catches up, and Chibi picks up another one right there, moving on to a dominating streak, easily taking care of the Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, and 30 seconds to go for the X's, and there's a Chronosphere to worry about in this small little window, but no one's dying in these Chronospheres. GA's still on cooldown as well, so Insidious just have to wait one creep wave, and yeah, they're going to be pretty safe about it, I think.
They're just going to park Omni in the back, the far back lines, but moving here in the front, you're like your Death Prophet. Gets silenced up for now, but it's Clicks on the bad side right now. Gets the Sunder actually on DP. Maybe they don't even know that's the real him, but it's Corey who jumps in. Does get one chrono on the prized Omni. Can they take him out in time? Nope, the Grave's going to be there. He makes his way out. He even heals himself, and he's looking pretty good. But Terrorblade now looking to right-click him home. He steps back. Mech. Now Guardian Angel's up if they need it. But already on the way out is Terrorblade, who might get bursted down and will be. Death Prophet cleans it home. Mega kill for her. Self-Yule saves her for the meantime. Is she going to get healed up? She will. Now a save from Omni Knight. Oh boy, they're making the Shalgraves really work on this one. Running on the way out, Blitz also gets swept through, and it's Zephyr quickly crumbling, little by little, and they call out the GG. That was quick, fast, and in a hurry.
So many nice.
Ow!
Yeah.
Ow.
Some clutch. The Blink Guardian Angel from the Omni Knight at the end. Two fantastic Graves in that fight. That was just really nice defensive support play. And yeah, Insidious Idol had a cool little draft. It's nice to see these kind of... I would almost call this like a pocket strategy, something they prepared, and it worked out great against Team Zephyr.
It's fresh. I like it a lot, and I definitely welcome it here to the new era of Dota, if you will. So, with that said, we'll touch base real quick with the current standings and how these teams are matching up with each other. Actually, I have to bring it back up right here. Here I got it. See qualifiers, and it's looking like for now, you know, Team Zephyr, the struggle continues here, gods. They're going to move down to 1-8, unfortunately. Insidious Idol are on top of him, but with their 1-4 record, now going to be spotted up to 2-4. I mean, you never know. Lots of games to come. You win out, could put you in a spot. Regardless, plenty more C action to come. Gods, thank you for hanging out with me and enjoying some quality C Dota. Anything you want to say before you leave the kitchen?
No, it's been fun. I'm gonna fire up some bacon and eggs. Hopefully, well, I don't think I have bacon, but I'll make do.
All right, sir. Enjoy your breakfast. I'm gonna get some rest. It's a pleasure as always, folks. Obviously, if you didn't already know, there is currently some Summit 2 by G2A.com Europe playoff action happening right now over at twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit. Go check it out. LD and Merlini are casting that. For now, we're all done here. We're gonna wrap things up. A pleasure as always, folks. Take care. We'll catch you on the next one.
heaven, West Virginia.